Anybody ever try to comment on my driving when you be making these videos?
One time they did.
What they say?
They said you be careful whoever you're driving with. They said they're passing up all them cars. They said they need to drive safer or something like that. Yeah. And they asked me who I was driving with, and I didn't say nothing. Yeah.
I'm the safest driver on the planet.
No, sir.
It don't look like it, but you've been there multiple times.
I've been riding with you a lot of times here recently, and you always got to put on the brakes because somebody stops in front of you, cuts you off in the lane because you're going too fast.
Most people would have died in that situation, but I handle it.
Yeah. Well, if you weren't going so fast, you never would have to put on the brakes all them times.
That's one way of looking at it.
It's coming from your airport up there.
Maybe. Or it might be going too.
The city lights. She probably got a dude in the passenger seat.
All these little young ass kids. I should have went that way. What am I doing? Drinking and driving. That's what I'm doing. Drinking pop.
Hey.
Drinking pop. Drinking pop and driving. I had a lot of pop today, and now I'm driving.
Yeah. Grisby.
This is Uncle James.
Hi, what's the name for the order?
Adrian. Look at this unbelievable moped.
You have a great night.
You too.
Papa John's.
This girl had 6 different colors of fake dreads in her hair. down past her butt.
She probably heard you say, look at this mop head. Her window was open.
I don't know. A reason? I like these quick trips like that. When everything goes that smooth, I get in and I get out and everything's ready.
Yeah.
I be feeling like a VIP.
Yeah.
That's my entitlement right there.
Yeah.
That might be one of my biggest narcissistic traits.
What?
Entitlement. Like the way I don't want to wait in line for anything.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the way like I don't want to be in traffic.
Yeah.
That's well, I mean, obviously I have reasons that I believe I do. I think I do it because I'm being safe and getting the reason I drive the way I drive, you think I'm being dangerous. But
Yeah, I think you've been dangerous.
the fact of what I'm doing is actually I understand all the statistics about vehicle collisions, and almost all vehicle collisions occur in traffic where there are multiple cars around. So the safest place to be is to get away from all the other cars and not be
I
around.
see the way a lot of people driving like not too fast, and that looks safe to me.
And those people die more than people like me do.
Nah, them people speeding like you the ones that crash.
That's the myth. Trust me, I'm telling you. I've read reports on all that. Most vehicle collisions happen because somebody is next to other cars and changes lanes, and doesn't see somebody next to them, or just different things like that where they're in traffic, and but the safest place to be is away from other cars. So if you ever notice when I'm driving, yeah, I drive like a little bit of a lunatic when we're around other cars, but as soon as I get distance away from me in those cars, I calm down and drive normal. My whole goal in driving is 2 things. One of the biggest statistics about people who die in car wrecks and who end up in the most car wrecks are people who spend the most time on the road. The other statistic is people who spend the most time around other cars on the road. So knowing those 2 things, I have 2 goals in mind when I start driving. 1, spend the least amount of time on the road as possible. 2, stay as far away from other cars as I can. And that has kept me from having almost any collisions in my life, except when those little dreadhead girls hit me and decided to lie about it and got the cops on their side. Just think about it. I've been driving for how long, and that's the only wreck I've had.
Well, we spun out on Taste Creek Road, and we've almost been in a lot of
Yeah,
wrecks.
that was Black Ice,
Yeah.
and that was Northern.
Yeah.
Almost doesn't
We
count.
spun out on the freak. Well, it was a wreck. We spun out on the road, and it's up on the sidewalk and
It's
then
not
back
a
in the
wreck.
road.
A wreck involves a collision. That was just a loss of control. People do that all the time in the snow, etc.
Yeah, well,
etc.
at that moment, you tried to get around another car. You tried to speed up
Yep, and
and
there
get
was
around
black
another car,
ice.
and then they slipped on that black ice.
It didn't have anything to do with my driving.
That's
It had
speeding up, trying to get around
I
other
do
cars.
that
That,
constantly with no problem.
Uh.
It was the black ice that caused that problem that we couldn't see.
but if you would have had sense, you would never did it that cold outside. Because there's black ice everywhere when it's that cold
I
outside.
do it all the time with no problems. And like I said, even on that time, I maneuvered that vehicle to
And
where-
then there's been a lot of times where you had to put on the brakes and we come feet from a car, inches away from a car, because that's speeding.
like I said, almost doesn't count.
Yeah, well, you never would have happened if you just drive regular.
Nothing did happen. We just stopped and everything was okay.
Yeah, while my butthole was puckered every time.
Yeah, I get that, but
that stuff's scary.
that would be like saying, "Oh, he almost shot me because the bullet came 10 feet away."
Just
Well,
tell
that's not
yourself
almost.
what you gotta tell yourself to keep on driving like a maniac.
I've calmed down a lot.
Yeah,
You and me both know that. Compared to the way I used to drive, this ain't nothing.
yeah.
Back in the day, I would have been doing 80 hitting a donut.
Yeah,
turn
you
around.
calm down, but it still gets scary from time to time.